using the travel bag as an example, I mean, what are some things that people could have done better to have you have just purchased one and not return the others?
So one of the things is I don't have really great spatial knowledge. And so for me, it's really hard to understand the size and what the capacity of a product is. And even just having photos of it packed doesn't really give enough sense of, like I'm always like even when I'm putting leftovers away, like trying to gauge what size container to put it in, I'm terrible at. My husband is always laughing at me. And so even being able to have a breakdown of the images that maybe show everything laid out on a counter and then side by side packed into that toiletry bag would have been really helpful for me. And then maybe even having like a list of like, this can hold up to 5 3-ounce bottles, 10 makeup brushes, 3 nail polish. I don't know. Like I'm just kind of throwing things out off the top of my head, but helping me to understand that in a multitude of ways, or even saying something like, enough for a month-long trip, or this is ideal for a weekend away. So that's, even though it's not going into really breaking it down, it's giving me something that I can understand. Now, the issue with a weekend away is one person's weekend away, and their toiletry needs could be really different from someone else's. So, you run the risk with that.
Mine's a stick of deodorant, a toothbrush, and a thing of toothpaste.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So, you sound like my husband, except he doesn't even pack the toothpaste because he knows that I will. So.
Right. Oh, the front desk will have it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, like,
what you're saying is actually really popular in the backpacking industry, though. Like, because I do I've done a lot of through hikes. Haven't done as many lately because of COVID crap, but it's really popular to like lay out on the floor like all the different components that can fit into a backpack. Your sleeping bag, your stove, your food, your utensils, your clothing, et cetera, and it shows exactly like what can fit into the 30-gallon bag, the 40-gallon bag, or the 50-gallon bag, and then you can decide like how much space do you really need to bring with you. And it seems like a huge miss on the travel bag listing, and a great example of something that you can do with imagery to like really help convey what the product's best for, and proves even further that people don't typically read, or maybe they read the few words that are on that image, but that's really the most important focus point for me is the imagery on the listing.
Yeah, imagery is huge, especially when it comes to just understanding a product. There's only so much that text by itself can do. And what I think is the kind of ideal is actually thinking about how you can use text and imagery together. Because if you just have a really great picture, it might not be immediately clear what it is that you're showing. And the same way that a picture is worth 1,000 words, you don't actually know how one person is interpreting the image from another. So like even the painting that's behind you, it looks like either like a sunrise or a sunset, and I can't see it that clearly, but it's like mountains and trees, and it's a little bit misty. And so maybe someone sees this and it makes them think of one of their favorite like epic quest books that they loved when they were a kid, that they're thinking that they want to reread. And just something about that photo, the brain makes strange connections all the time, and it just automatically reminds them of that. And maybe I look at that and I think about when I was 20 and studying abroad in Ecuador, and that sense of just limitless possibilities that you get when you are just kind of have the world at your feet. And none of those actually directly relate to this specific image. They're triggering either personal experiences that I have, or things that I'm thinking about, and just my own world. But if you had, not that you would want to, since it's just a nice image in itself, but if this was a marketing photo that we were looking at, if you had a bit of text there, then while I might look at that photo and still think about those other things, that text is making sure that at least at first, it's making it so that whether I look at it or you look at it or anybody else looks at it, we're all getting the message that you're trying to convey with that image. And the same could be true for, any image that you have in your listing or really anywhere. And it's one of the pieces of Amazon real estate that I feel like is most underutilized is, yes, if you're investing in great quality images, that's so important, but then not actually utilizing that space to drive home the message is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think I always say is, this is not a retail store. There's not an opportunity to ask the sales associate behind the counter all those questions, right? And so everything that you can put in there that answers the questions and prevents someone from returning things or jumping off to another listing to try to find the answer, the better off you're going to be.
Yes.